What's going on, everybody? Antonio here. And I know I haven't been posting anything recently, and there's no excuse for me not to have been. There's been plenty to talk about, and this is something that I really need to correct in terms of my consistency. But little by little, I assure you that's something that's going to change. In fact, I was planning to do so after SmackDown Live tomorrow night because I wanted to do something of a weekend review sort of thing. Just going over the stuff that happened in this week's pro wrestling. And coincidentally enough, there's the breaking news that just broke roughly an hour or so ago that Roman Reigns has pulled out of WrestleMania 36 and will no longer be facing Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Now, the fact that this has everything to do with him having gone into remission from leukemia a little over a year ago, I certainly wouldn't blame him for the decision to pull out. I mean, if I put myself in his shoes, there's a very good chance I would have done the same thing. The big difference between me and Roman is he actually has a family that he does provide for, but at the same time, if something happens to him to where he's no longer able to provide for them, it's like, then what, you know? It's just too much that's at stake, and I certainly respect where he's coming from on that. Definitely respect WWE for allowing him to pull out, and, that is just about the right thing to do if there was any. And it's really wild because recently the city of Orlando, or their county, I believe it's Orange County, I'm not 100% sure, but they actually put a stay-at-home order into effect, and that's gone into effect at least a half an hour ago, probably a little more than that. I've heard a lot of different things as far as when that was supposed to go into effect, but the WWE Performance Center, which is in Orlando, can no longer be used for recording or even airing any sort of content whatsoever. And they even had taped episodes of NXT over at Full Sail University, and as I understand it, it's going to be at least a couple of weeks worth of content that they're going to have that they recorded over there. So all of that being the case, it just is interesting because, especially judging from a lot of the stuff I've seen on the news, things that I've heard about, it's gonna get worse before it gets any better, obviously. I just feel like that's something that has become painfully clear for all of us as it stands right now. But nonetheless, a lot of the things that they've discussed have been Roman's replacement or possible replacement. And hell, there have even been a few at the very least, that feel as though WrestleMania should be canceled or at least postponed altogether. And I don't blame them for feeling that way, but since it's Vince McMahon that we're talking about, it's not surprising that they've taken the measures that they have in terms of recording all the matches and putting the footage together for it to air on April 5th on schedule. But just going into the replacements, a lot of people feel like it should be Bray Wyatt, and I don't disagree with that. He's about the one credible character, especially with The Fiend, that would make sense as far as taking the title from Goldberg. If they don't go with him, whoever it is that they put against Goldberg is really and truly going to end up losing, because there really isn't anyone that would be considered tailor-made for getting that job done that at least I know of on that roster that would make any sense. And it's kind of hard to imagine that they would have gone that direction, just seeing as how a lot of this was sort of short notice. But I guess we'll find out one way or the other. I mean, there's going to be some sort of news about it. They'll probably drop a spoiler or two, or at least somebody will do that. There's always one of those out there, one way or the other. But in any case, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here as far as all this is concerned. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section if you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Certainly share with your friends. And I hope you have a good one.